in 1 Samuel chapter 24, David spares Saul's life. In chapter 24, Saul is pursuing David, trying to find him so he can kill him. And Saul stops and says, "Hey, guys, wait here. I got to go relieve myself." So he goes into a cave nearby. And this just so happens to be the same cave that David and his men are hiding in. So David and his men are further into the cave where Saul doesn't know that they're there. But they know that Saul's there because they can tell someone's entered the cave. And they're like, "Hey, it's Saul. Saul is relieving himself in the cave. David, this is your chance." David's men say, "Didn't God say, 'Behold, I will deliver your enemy into your hand'? This is the moment. David, go kill Saul." And David, instead of going to kill Saul, he goes and cuts off a piece of Saul's robe. And he takes it. And then when Saul exits the cave, David goes out behind him and says, "Hey, Saul, look what I have in my hand. I cut off a piece of your robe. I could have killed you if I wanted to. However, this is why I didn't." And one of the reasons that David gives for not killing Saul is that Saul is God's anointed king over Israel. God chose Saul to be king over Israel, even though in 1 Samuel chapter 23, the chapter before this, Saul just killed a bunch of priests who were innocent to try and find David. Saul's doing wicked and awful things. However, God still anointed Saul. God gave his blessing over Saul, knowing full well what evil things Saul would do. And David knows this. David knows that even though Saul is wicked, Saul is part of God's plan. And that's very striking for me in my personal life, that there are times in my life where it feels like there is wickedness and terrible things going on in my life. And sometimes I forget that God has planned for all things in my life to happen. Even the bad stuff he is using for his glory. David has an immense amount of faith in God's plan and willingness to be patient for when God will eventually make David king over Israel.